Sorry, Bet, the White House needs something with a little more class. And Democrats aren't class acts. Trump's built beautiful architecture. What have Democrats built besides 7 car charging stations for $7 billion? Have you seen Obama's library? Later in the show, we'll have an analysis. Crockett's the face of the party, and the only thing she's built is a shoe collection.
There's a lot of things that people believe is going on. There's an issue with his face. There's an issue with maybe drop foot. And then cognitively, he's never necessarily been an Einstein, but seems like the decline is happening like this, right? Like he's a madman, like he's crazy.
Maybe Trump is a little crazy. Crazy in love with America. And if Trump's mad, it's because they shot Charlie. It's not like he's Kathy Griffin crazy.
Trump thinks he's a king. And, he's not. He's barely a president. In fact, guess what? I'm going to say something that's going to get me in trouble. I don't think he won in a free and fair election. You heard me. I'm coming out and saying it myself. I don't care if that means I look crazy, because Elon Musk, I don't know if you remember, but he was giving out $1 million checks to people if they would vote for Trump. That's illegal. It's unconstitutional and illegal. So that was happening. And the fact that Trump won all 7 swing states, which has never happened in the history of the U.S., makes it all very suspicious to me. So there, I said it.
No one's ever won 7 swing states. Reagan and Nixon won 49. According to my calculations, that's 7 swing states times 7. If Kamala was robbed and she really won, Hamas would still have the hostages, Iran would still have the nukes, and it wouldn't be called the Gulf of America, now would it? Why go back? Kamala is still stuck on stupid.
I was a United States Senator, second black woman elected in the history of the United States Senate, and I was the first woman vice president of the United States. So there are those things that I needed to make sure that people knew.
That is a decent resume, but go ahead.
Well, some people have actually said I was the most qualified candidate ever to run for president.
She was senator and then VP. So was Biden, Gore, Nixon, Johnson. Does Kamala being a black woman make her more qualified? Doubt it. But Kamala may have to tell her party to stand back and stand by, because the insurrectors are rattling the doors of the Speaker's office.
Swear her in! 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 Swear.
Democrats set up a campsite outside Mike Johnson's door. Swalwell's roaming the halls looking for him.
Any Republicans in here? I don't see any. That's the House floor right now. Those doors are closed. Anyone want to work? Anyone around? Crickets.
Well, they're not there because the Schumer shutdown wants free health care for illegals. Hips isn't singing mariachi anymore. It's hip hop.
House Republicans shut the government down. Then they ran out of town. And for the last 3 weeks, they're nowhere to be found.
Hips is moving his lips, but he voted against no tax on tips. Is Schumer rhyming and stealing? We hope not. Trump's worried Chuck has Biden brain.
He's a loser. I've known him all his life. He's always been sort of a loser, but an intelligent one. But I think he's losing IQ points with time. I think that happens. I hope it hasn't happened with me. I know if it did, you guys will let me know about it very quickly.
The only deal Truck's trying to strike is with AOC so that he can keep his job. Since no one's in charge, the party's getting riled up and taking everyone down. The climate mobs are coming for Kamala.
Kamala Harris, you are a right-wing war criminal! You are a right-wing... You funded genocide for 161 days! You are a war criminal! You sold out the youth! You sold out the climate! Shame on you! This is all your fault! This is your fault! We have Trump because this is your fault!
Even Spartacus is getting lit up. Corey's getting called a Nazi sympathizer by Bravo TV hosts. And he's just taking it.
I feel like the opposition needs to be no across the board. We're not giving you a centimeter. And I think there's been a lot of capitulation. I think there's been a lot of Neville Chamberlain type appeasement from Democratic leadership. And you're one of them that's kind of been disappointing to me.
The longer this goes on, the more their odds sink.
Well, we were looking at the Democrats with a very clear shot of taking control of the U.S. House of Representatives, according to the Kalshi prediction market odds. We saw them in an 83% chance. But those odds have gone plummeting down. Now we're talking about just a 63% chance, while the GOP's chances up like a rocket, up like gold.
And it just sunk a little bit more because Democrats want trans shot putters at the Olympics.
My question is whether you think they should compete in women's sport in the Olympics, because it's coming to LA, so it's relevant.
I think transgender female athletes are women athletes, and they should be able to compete.
Really?
Democrats want dudes competing against women in the Olympics in LA. They want men playing rugby against women, men playing basketball against women. They want men swimming against women. You're going to be able to see everything in that suit. This woman's running for California governor against potatoes. Betty Boy might win. These people have to grow up. They're even praying for the resurrection of the cross-legged Messiah.
Barack Obama remains our LeBron James. He's our closer, and he is our most important elected official in recent history today. Now, obviously, I worked for him, and so I'm kind of in the tank in terms of his ability, but I still think he's our star.
Haven't you heard? There's a new GOAT, Donald J. Trump. J stands for Jordan. Even the Ragin' Cajun says 47's walking on water.
You know what? He did it, and I think he looks. He deserves some credit for it, right? They just do. They're having a legitimate, kind of moment in the sun, and that's fine.
Trump brought peace to the Middle East and D.C. Look at Union Station.
Taking my first train in a very long time from Washington, D.C., just walked through Union Station. Unbelievable. The first time in years Union Station hasn't smelled like piss and booze. And there weren't like pigeons pooping on everything and homeless people using drugs and bathing in the fountains. It's been incredible.
I was in D.C. yesterday, and every park is pristine. No graffiti, no homeless. And the grass just looks greener. Remember, Trump knows grass. He's making his mark and still has 3 years to go, maybe more. Presidential historian Newt Gingrich says he's already way up there.
He said, I'll go down as the greatest president in history. And then he blew it. He said, I'm not sure if I put him above Washington or Lincoln. So I'm not that happy about that, dude.
And welcome to Hannity. And tonight, the state of America, the Democratic Party is a nationwide embarrassment. Their policies, they are god-awful. They're terrible. Their views extreme. Their rhetoric disgusting. And their tactics are cringeworthy at best. And then to make matters worse, in this off-year election, they're sending in candidates that are woke, a joke, and they all want all of their constituents to be broke. The leading candidate for mayor of New York, a rabid, communist, anti-Semite, won't even call for the terrorist organization Hamas to disarm. How gutless. Take a look.
Do you believe that Hamas should lay down their weapons and leave the leadership in Gaza?
I believe that any future here in New York City is one that we have to make sure that's affordable for all. And as it pertains to Israel and Palestine, that we have to ensure that there's peace. And that is the future that we have to fight for.
But you won't say that Hamas should lay down their arms and give up leadership in Gaza.
I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas and Israel beyond the question of justice and safety.
We all know he believes in global intifada. Now, across the country, the top Democrat running to be governor, Katie Porter of California, might be the single most unlikable person in America. That's saying a lot. I can think of a lot of people that are not that likable after getting caught on tape berating reporters, her own staff, and pretty much anyone else that comes into her line of sight. She is now suggesting that even more bad behavior could soon be coming to light. She knows she's been mean a lot more than what we know about. Take a look.
Should California voters feel confident that there aren't any more Katie Porter videos out there?
Well, what I know is that I could have done better in those moments. I'm going to be focused on earning their votes.
Send in the videos to Hannity@something.com. I don't have an email. Anyway, back east in Virginia and New Jersey, both Democrats running for governor are now embroiled in their own scandals. The polls are tightening dramatically in New Jersey. Mikey Sherrill won't even commit to not raising taxes, even in one of the highest tax states in the entire country. And she won't tell the people of New Jersey why she was not allowed to walk with her class at graduation at the Naval Academy. I would think inquiring minds in New Jersey might need an answer to that question. In Virginia, Democrats there are becoming, well, the party of death and misery thanks to their support for state-assisted suicide and their nonchalant response to their a candidate for attorney general, you know, the guy that once called for his political opponents and their children to be murdered. And meanwhile, the Democrats' 2024 presidential nominee back on a book tour reminding everyone why she lost in a landslide, because she was so great. Take a look.
Well, some people have actually said I was the most qualified candidate ever to run for president.
I like the some people say. Very nice, but go ahead.
I'm just speaking fact.
Oh, really? Okay, coming up, we're going to have a full rundown of this dumpster fire now burning hot inside the Democratic Party. But first, let's turn our attention to the Democratic dumpster fire that is Capitol Hill. Last night, they filmed themselves making a lot of noise, heroically marching to Speaker Johnson's ceremonial office inside the Capitol. By the way, he wasn't there. Take a look.
Swear her in! 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 Swear her in!
All right, other than a desperate ploy for attention, no one really seems to know what their goals were. Speaker Johnson, as I said, wasn't there. The House, they already passed a bill to keep the government open. In reality, it's Senate Democrats that are now responsible for the shutdown, hence the name the Schumer shutdown. And tonight, they are still blocking Republicans and other Democrats from getting the 60 votes they needed to pass a continuing resolution. Now, they certainly won't be opening the government before their radical base is taking to the streets all around the country for massive protests all weekend, like the summer of 2020. Why would the Democrats ever alienate what is now their extreme radical voters? They can't win without them. But so they never would dare criticize them. That's why they didn't criticize them. They won't stop. They shouldn't stop. And we're not going to stop supporting the rioters, you know, hurling bricks and rocks at and Molotov cocktails at cops and killing people and looting stores and billions in property damage. But that's not stopping House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, he's really leader in name only, for waxing poetic about his noble cause. Take a look.
House Republicans shut the government down. Then they ran out of town. And for the last 3 weeks, they're nowhere to be found. What more can I say? You deserve better.